Okay, so here are 10 tips for managing homeschooling and work as a parent. This is something that comes up a lot because we are now in this realm where we can work from home, which is amazing. So if you're watching this, you're more than likely working from home and you're homeschooling, but you're still finding that this combination, even though it gives you some flexibility and freedom, it's a huge balancing act. And there are so many things that you can get wrong, which make it hard to do. So here are 10 real tips that has helped me along the way in my journey. Some I still struggle with, but those are me problems, like scheduling. These are very much a me problem, but they work. When you can stick to it, they definitely work. So here we go. So number 1 is to set realistic goals. So acknowledging that you can't do everything perfectly, you won't do everything perfectly, and you shouldn't beat yourself up about it. You have to set achievable goals for both your work and your homeschooling. And this just keeps things manageable and ensures that it's not too overwhelming, because if it is too overwhelming, you won't get much done on either front, and you don't want that. Number 2 is to create a solid routine. Again, this is a me problem that I can't always stick to my routines, but when they do work and when I really knuckle down, this is the key. This is absolutely the key. Being consistent in creating a solid routine and following it through, this is the key because it helps everybody know what to expect and when to expect things to be done. If you work from home, align your work hours with your children's independent study time. This makes things so much easier because you can make the most of that time. Number 3 is to designate specific areas. This isn't always possible, but having separate spaces for work and schooling, it sets clear boundaries and it helps both you and your kids to switch into work and school mode and out of it when you need to. Number 4 is leverage flexible work hours. If your work allows this, you should definitely adjust your work hours to times where your child is engaged in independent learning or during evening hours. So if you can homeschool in the day and just do that in the day and not have to work and then do your work in the evenings, is a bit of a sacrifice because you also need to find time to rest. But if you can try to align those hours, so maybe it's coming to the end of their school day and they're doing independent learning and you're just starting your shift, they can kind of cross over. Number 5 is to incorporate learning into daily tasks. So, real world learning. This is a huge deal. I love real world learning, shopping, cooking, other daily tasks, things that you just do. These can be educational. So, it's not just about having them sit down and do work in a book. We know that by now, but making the most of those things that you have to do anyway. It's all about being smart with your time. Number 6 is to use online resources and communities. So take advantage of homeschooling resources. I'm very big on this all over phoenixhomeed.com. You will find resources, and I love a good resource. They can be a huge help, but they are a huge help, offering lesson plans, which we do, activities, support from other homeschooling parents. The homeschool community is growing every day. It's insanely huge, and people are very, very helpful. Most of the time, they're very, very helpful. Number 7 is to prioritize your tasks. Prioritize your tasks. Another one that I sometimes fail at, my to-do list is always huge. My to-do list is extensive and I try and do everything. And when I started trying to do one thing, having that one thing to tick off in a day, anything else is a bonus. So you need to know which tasks don't need immediate attention and which ones do, and sort them by urgency. And if you can get the top task off the list, you're going to feel so much better. And then everything you do in that day is going to be a plus. Number 8 is to get support. Don't hesitate to ask for help. Don't hesitate to ask for help. And if somebody offers help, take the help, depending on who the person is, of course. But whether that's your partner, family, friends, or homeschooling communities. There are communities where people support each other in this exact situation, where there are people who work, and obviously you have to develop that trust and trust the people around you. But this is why getting involved in communities and starting up your own communities can be a huge support to lighten the load. Number 9 is to include the kids in work life. This is very similar to the idea of the cooking and the life skills, but really this is it's a huge key in homeschooling, and it's something that parents miss out on if they don't integrate into their children's learning. So involve your kids in your work where you can, and as I said, that can be a learning experience in itself. It's giving them work experience. If your boss doesn't mind, if you work for yourself, you could have them do some stuff. I always do it. There are some tax benefits to this, but we'll get into that in another video. Number 10 is self-care is crucial. You need to be a cup that is full and overflowing in order for you to give. So remember to take time for yourself, because you, as an empty cup, it helps no one. Burnout doesn't help anybody. So a little bit of self-care goes a long way, and you'll be able to maintain your energy for both your children and work and home. Just as mother or father in the home, you need to make sure that you're looking after yourself first, and it should ease the load for everything else. So that's it. Those are my 10 tips for, I guess, helping you navigate the working from home and homeschooling thing. It's a juggling act. It can definitely be easier implementing some of these tips. And yeah, hang in there. Hang in there.